Okay, so we're gonna do a demo between the biggest of the eggs, the 3001 SEs, versus the smallest of the eggs, the 1001.2s SEs, second edition. Both in glossy black. There's my new turntable, I haven't set it up. I was using the teaks as a stand, trying to get them up. So, obviously I can't put them inside, so you're gonna get a little bit of more optimum placement of the 3001s, but I don't think that it's a fair fight anyway. It doesn't matter just how well these little guys can keep up these big ones, being that they're, 5 times bigger, 4 times bigger. So, here we go. I hope you don't mind NCS, but it's YouTube, so. Excuse me, sorry. So the top amp is connected to white cables, little. Bottom amp connected to the big ones. So the benefit of having the unicues, where you have the tweeter in the acoustic center of the woofer, is that it allows the tweeter and the woofer to perform like they're a single point. So sound coming from a single point in space, versus a speaker like this, where you have two sounds having to converge, which makes the KEFs, the single point speakers, have two advantages. One is that they sound the same regardless of how close and far you are from them, because the distance, the angle of incidence between the speakers and you don't change, and they sound the same from whatever angle, so they tend to have a much broader sweet spot. And second advantage is that they can be made obviously much smaller, because with the tweeter centrally located, it looks like it only has one speaker. It looks like one of those kind of cheap Logitech speakers that use a quote full range driver that typically only go up to maybe like 15K and go down to, I don't know, 120 hertz. So you manage to squeeze two speakers into the space of what would be one speaker, so the speaker could be incredibly small. I mean, like, look at the size of this thing compared to that. And that woofer and that tweeter are actually about the same size. See? So there's no way that you could possibly have made this any smaller if it wasn't for the Unicue. Let's try a different song. Let's do Cradles.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice cubes and
Ah, come on.
cross hope the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to face reality. Why can't you let me
So,
wait?
while I'm fixing this, one of the things that's cool about the egg shape is that it helps disperse the sound in a way that is atypical of a speaker. Normally speakers are made out of squares because squares are very easy to produce. It's pretty much a cheapness factor. Round shapes actually a lot harder to produce because you have to machine them. If there's any error, the seams don't fit properly. A square shape could just be chopped, you know, and then it's flat lines glued together. Curved shapes are a lot harder to QA, a lot harder to machine, and obviously these things are made out of metal, so they're very forgiving. They have to be very, very constructed to very tight quality control metrics to get it to fit exactly seamlessly. But what you get is the sound of speaker, the sound of a speaker that is in a box. So no box coloration. So these eggs tend to sound very much like open baffle speakers, without the disadvantage of open baffle speakers, because open baffle speakers typically have to be very, very large, and you kind of have to place them in the middle of the room for them to work. The video can't possibly do it justice. You can put on headphones, that would be a good idea. But still, the way that these sound to me is that the front wall is emanating music, which is pretty cool. And that applies to the little guys as well. Here, let's just go back and I'll keep switching back and forth more rapidly. But yeah, there's like this holographic, seamless sound that doesn't seem like it's coming from a box. It's like a holographic soundstage effect that I only really heard from open baffle speakers before.
Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
So beyond the unit cues, the driver within the driver coincident array thing, two-way speakers, allowing the speaker to be incredibly compact, and the unique round kind of oblong half egg shape, you also get no standing waves. Because within a square shape or rectangle shape, there's going to be resonances that are going to peak and null within the box itself, which causes cabinet coloration or cabinet noise. With these, you don't actually hear a cabinet at all, you just hear the speaker. And I guess KEF made damn sure of that by making the speakers out of metal anyway, so any kind of a box sound you would hear would be very, very high pitched. Yeah, they're pretty solid.
Can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? Say goodbye. I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts when you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down.
So yeah, the 101.2s keep up pretty damn well. You hear that they're a little bit smaller, but I mean, they are physically smaller. And there's some advantages of them being smaller too. And that obviously they take up a lot less space. And when you mount them up against a wall, they only protrude about 4 inches. So between those two, I would say that these are more versatile because you could pretty much place them anywhere. I actually use 2 pairs as my surround speakers just because I like how seamless it fits on the wall. I mean, it doesn't come out further than a picture frame, really, about 4 inches. Whereas if I put those on my wall, I'd have to constantly walk around them, or just, it'd feel claustrophobic because I'd be afraid of bumping into them. I mean, these things are only, what, about 4 inches deep? That's pretty amazing. Those are twice as deep, a little bit more than twice as deep. So the amount of sound they're making is pretty much all driver, really. Okay, well, maybe I'll let another half music play us out. I hope you enjoyed the review. Comparison. Ah, I was just hearing play in unison. Come on, do it. Ah, that's enough. Thanks for listening.